In the dark theater of the most infamous crimes, kidnappings have left an indelible mark on history, capturing the public's attention due to their terrifying and, in some cases, surprising nature. These events have transcended geographical boundaries and temporal limits, leaving indelible scars on the lives of those who have fallen victim to tragedy. Among the numerous stories that have shocked the world, some stand out not only for the cruelty of their perpetrators but also for the astonishing resilience of those who have managed to escape the clutches of their captors. Chapter 1. The Return Home. In 1972, in the quiet town of Merced, California, lived a boy named Stephen Stainer. At the tender age of 7, his life took an unexpected turn when he was kidnapped on his way to school. The news shocked the community, and despite the efforts of the police and Stephen's parents, the little boy disappeared without a trace. For 7 years, the Stainer family lived in the agony of uncertainty. Their home was filled with photos of Stephen, and his absence left a void that could not be filled. Life went on, but the shadow of the kidnapping loomed over them. In 1980, the story took a surprising turn. One day, in a small town in California, a 14-year-old boy appeared at a police station, disheveled and visibly nervous. At first, authorities couldn't believe what they saw. It was Stephen Stainer, the boy who had gone missing 7 years ago. The story Stephen told was incredible. During his captivity, he had been taken to remote places and had his identity changed multiple times. His kidnapper, a man named Edward Murphy, psychologically manipulated him, making him believe that his parents no longer wanted him and that his previous life was a dream. However, Stephen found the inner strength to resist and ultimately escape. Stephen's return was a moment of joy and astonishment for his family and the community at large. The news spread quickly, and the media closely followed the incredible story of his homecoming. The city of Merced celebrated with jubilation but also faced the difficult task of reconciling with the lost years and understanding the tragedy that had occurred. Stephen's readjustment to his previous life was not easy. He had lost his childhood and experienced things no child should endure. However, with the love and support of his family, Stephen began the long process of healing. The community also played a crucial role, providing understanding and patience as the young man tried to regain normalcy. As the years passed, Stephen Stainer became a symbol of resilience and hope. His story inspired others to never lose faith, even in the darkest moments. Although the pain of the lost years never completely disappeared, Stephen found the strength to build a new life, contributing to awareness about kidnapping cases and the importance of family unity. Chapter 2. Seeking the Light. Natascha Kampusch, a 10-year-old Austrian girl, experienced a fate no child's mind should endure. On March 2, 1998, while on her way to school in Vienna, her life took an abrupt and terrifying turn. Wolfgang Pricklepil, a telecommunications engineer, abducted her in broad daylight, leaving a community in shock and disbelief. For over 8 years, Natascha lived confined in a narrow basement under her captor's house in the town of Strashof. Her existence was marked by darkness, isolation, and psychological manipulation. Pricklepil, a meticulous and controlling man, exerted total dominance over Natascha's life, imposing strict rules and keeping her existence hidden from the outside world. Throughout her captivity, Natascha developed ingenious strategies to maintain her sanity and preserve her humanity. Her will to survive led her to find small moments of normalcy amid adversity. She learned to read and write with the few books she had at her disposal and, in secret, listened to the radio to stay connected with the outside world. On August 23, 2006, after years of planning and courage, Natascha Kampusch found the opportunity to escape when her captor was distracted. In a brave and determined act, she emerged from the shadows of her confinement and sought help. Her escape astonished the world, revealing a story of resilience and determination that left the minds of those trying to comprehend the extent of her tragedy perplexed. Chapter 3. The Coffin Slave. The story of Colleen Stan, heartbreakingly known as the Coffin Slave, unfolded in a dark corner of criminality where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blurred. In May 1977, when Colleen was 20 years old, her fate changed irrevocably while hitchhiking in California. She was picked up by Cameron and Janice Hooker, a seemingly ordinary couple hiding dark intentions beneath the facade of normalcy. Once under their control, Colleen was subjected to an unimaginable nightmare. The Hookers, driven by sadomasochistic perversions and delusions of power, kept her captive for 7 years. Their most shocking method was a specially constructed coffin designed to restrict her movements and plunge her into the claustrophobia of total darkness. Colleen endured constant physical and psychological abuse as the Hookers exercised absolute control over every aspect of her life. Mental manipulation and the use of threats kept Colleen submissive and terrified, preventing any attempt at escape. Over the years, the line between reality and nightmare blurred for Colleen, who, in her isolation, struggled to maintain her humanity. As the years passed, Colleen's situation became more desperate. However, through an unbreakable instinct for survival, she managed to maintain a glimmer of hope. Her resilience became a testament to the strength of the human spirit even in the most desolate conditions. Finally, in 1984, Colleen was liberated. Janice Hooker, feeling remorse and fearing for her own safety, contacted authorities and revealed the horror that had occurred in her home. Cameron Hooker was arrested, and Colleen could, after years of captivity, begin to rebuild her life. Chapter 4. The Redemption of a Grandfather. It was the year 1973 in the picturesque city of Rome, Italy, when a dark chapter was written in the life of John Paul Getty III, a 16-year-old heir to one of the world's largest fortunes, that of oil magnate J. Paul Getty. One night, while strolling the streets of the Eternal City, he was kidnapped by a group of masked men. The kidnapping sent shockwaves through high society and newspaper headlines. The Getty family, known for their immense wealth, was now plunged into a nightmare they could not fathom. The kidnappers demanded an exorbitant ransom, but what surprised the world was the cold response of the family patriarch, J. Paul Getty. The oil magnate refused to pay the full ransom, arguing that giving in to the kidnappers' demands would endanger his other grandchildren, making them potential targets. This decision unleashed a storm of criticism and public condemnation toward J. Paul Getty, who earned a reputation as a calculating and ruthless man. Meanwhile, somewhere unknown, John Paul Getty III was facing the brutality of his captors. Throughout the months of captivity, he suffered both physically and emotionally. However, his spirit did not break, and he found ways to resist, holding on to the hope that his family would rescue him. Public pressure on J. Paul Getty increased as the story gained more media attention. Even friends and associates urged him to reconsider his position. Finally, after nearly 5 months of negotiations, the magnate agreed to pay a significant sum but still less than what the kidnappers had demanded. The day John Paul Getty III was released, the news echoed around the world. His family welcomed him with open arms, but the relationship with his grandfather was marked by the painful experience. Although physically freed, the young Getty carried the emotional scars of his time in captivity. The story of John Paul Getty III became a reminder of the dangers of extreme wealth and the coldness of certain aspects of the business world. The tragedy also served as a wake-up call about the importance of family ties and priorities in life. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to support us in our efforts to keep improving.